A good one there, giving you NPFL. Well, Nasarawa United versus Eyimba. Welcome you on the show. 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Aji Shafe. Well, we'll be looking at the NPFL because right now a lot of issues here and there, but it's actually getting better. If we were to be before by now, you have a lot of stories to tell, but no matter how it is, IMC have been able to come up with some new things there. Well, let's start with the first story. NPFL board approves evaluation report and sanctions by referees committee. Well, referees committee actually sanctioned some club, and right now NFF board actually has evaluated those particular report from the referees committee, and it also sanctions those clubs. Now let's look at sanction approved by NFF board for NPFL on Wiki Tori versus Niger Tornadoes. Madu Patience Indidi, a FIFA referee, is from Enugu. Yes, that particular story is about how it was identified that an incident occurred in the penalty area, which he whistled and signaled for a penalty kick, and instantly changed her decision for a goal as the ball eventually proceeded and resulted in a goal. After thorough analysis, it was concluded that 1. A foul was committed and the referee signaled for a penalty kick. 2. That the goal resulted from a dead ball, and therefore the advantage clause is not applicable in this instant situation. 3. That the referee should have maintained her decision of penalty kick. 4. That she committed an error of judgment in allowing the goal. Decision, she is warned and advised to always consider the larger picture by appropriate scanning and delay decision until there is a clear certainty to justify a decision. Concerning Shooting Stars Sports Club, that's Shooting Stars versus Kwara United FC. Ukan Dubusi, a FIFA referee from Imo, and also assistant referee Otubo Morrison from Delta, assistant referee too. There, it was observed that during the build-up, which resulted in a goal, the assistant referee too, Otubo Morrison, signaled to penalize the scorer for an offside offense. The referee complied with his AR, that is assistant referee, to disallow the goal. After proper examination of the clip, it was inferred that 1. As at the time the ball leaves the leg of the kicker, teammate of the scorer was not in an offside position. 2. The AR2, that is assistant referee 2, was not properly positioned to justify the decision to penalize the scorer for offside offense. Decision, the referee is warned and advised to improve on his performances, as the duty to identify or establish offside position is purely that of the assistant referee. The assistant referee too, Morrison, is to be stand down for the league. That's the decision there. The match involving Rivers United versus Niger Tornadoes, involving Faro Abdurrahman, Lagos, also a referee. That's the committee noted that after a corner kick was taken, the ball traveled into the penalty area, with defending goalkeeper coming out and attempted to parry the ball away, which he missed, and an attacking player kicked the ball and scored. The referee signaled for an infringement to disallow the goal. The committee explored the video clip thoroughly to observe that 1. There was no illegal contact that could translate into a foul by the attacking team. 2. The decision of the referee to disallow the goal is not within the provision of the laws of the game and therefore unjustified. Decision. The referee Faro Abdurrahman is to be stand down from the league week 5 of the NPFL, which include the following matches and officials. Rivers United, that's the decision concerning him now. Another one that has to do with Rivers United versus Wiki Tories, Taiwo David from Oyo, a referee. Charles Isua Adamawa, assistant referee, and you have Akinsoya Shegun from Oyo as an assistant referee too. Decision of the NFF board, the 3 match officials are to be to stand down from the league. Lobby Stars versus Sunshine Stars. Promise Amadi, Rivers, also a referee. Lewis Guantana from Rivers, assistant referee 2. Decision. The referee and the assistant referee 2 are to stand down from the league. Bringing those decisions coming from the NFF board to you quickly. Before we talk about the women football, I have Amechi Agbo. Amechi, I saw you actually shaking your head. I don't know why you're shaking your head.
It's just very sad. The highest grade you can get as a referee in the country is to be FIFA badged. Once you are a FIFA badged referee, you can referee any match anywhere, including the World Cup final. But when I see these sanctions, and FIFA badge referees are
committing on this.
Part of it. I am worried. Patience indeed is from Enugu State, and she has been an outstanding referee of immense pedigree. He has officiated in Africa Women's Africa Women's Cup of Nations, and even Africa Cup of Nations. And I think he officiated, World Coach of the World? I can't remember exactly. But this is a league. There was an infringement before a goal was scored, a penalty infringement for that matter. And then you bleed for the penalty. But because the goal has been scored, you said the added advantage stands. It doesn't apply that way. She should have been more mature and more professional in this case. The instance before a result takes preeminence. You can only give advantage when it was inside or outside the box. And you say they are going on a counter. If they are going on a counter and there is infringement that you feel that is not too violent, then you can let the play continue. And then after, maybe you can go and caution the player that committed the foul. But in this case, inside the box, penalty first before any other consideration. This is just an issue of arithmetic. And again, you look at the referees that have been stand down. When a referee is stand down, the English may be too heavy. It is just that suspended indefinitely. You are not going to officiate in the league until further notice. That's just the meaning. And when you are suspended from not officiating in the league, it means that your professionalism is being questioned. Your ethical orientation is being questioned. And everything around you is being questioned. And then I just feel that the referee committee and the NFF are very, very lenient and magnanimous in their decisions, because it could have been far-reaching. Because any decision you take in the field of play automatically affects the dynamism of the match, the results of the match, the psychology of the match, and everything about the match. So the referees should be psychologically sound and emotionally well-grounded, because any slighted mistake, you can cause an outbreak, can cause provocation. The players can react because they are human beings. But then, in the midst of all this, I also advocate for periodic training of these referees. They are referees, yes, but they need to be reminded about the rules of the game. They also need to upgrade. And also do not forget that as umpires in the game, they face most challenges of intimidation and most times victimization. And then if you are a referee, for instance, just look at Patience Madu, a woman refereeing MPFL club match. So if she is not a woman that has the mindset to be in the middle of the men, how do you think it's going to be? You blow pew and you see one hefty men around you trying to swallow you up, and you'll be like...
Imagine 22 players on the pitch.
You understand? So they also need to be encouraged, and then, as I said earlier, continuous orientation on the rules of the game. Motivation also to do the game, because it is not always easy. We have to be realistic. It's
not easy to be a referee, but from Amechi's talk right now, it shows that you should just balance it. If you are a ref, make sure you upgrade yourself, and also it's not easy to actually run that thing. But from the way it is, let's talk about the women's own. We look at the men earlier from the ruling that has to do with the NFF board ratifying all the sanctions coming from the referee committee. Let's look at the sanctions concerning the women. Though match officials' decision in one of the NWFL matches, Rivers Angels versus Delta Queens, was characterized by controversial and questionable decisions that had adverse effects on the outcome of the match, the committee, however, considered that the impact of the decision of match official in the other review matches were not serious enough to warrant punitive measures. Rivers Angels versus Delta Queens, Adeshola Olufunke from Oyo, referee Abdulrasheed Rofiat, also from Oyo, assistant referee 1, Aladini Kadetutu, assistant referee 2. The committee observed that 2 goals of Delta Queens were disallowed by the referee Adeshola Olufunke and active assistant referee 1, Abdulrasheed Rofiat. The committee noted that 1, in an attack towards the penalty area of Rivers Angels, the defending player attempted a scissors kick and missed the ball. 2, none of the 2 attacking players in close proximity to the defending player committed no offense. 3, the claim of the referee that there was a foul or pushing is unfounded, and therefore her decision to disallow the goal unjustified with the loss of the game. Decision: referee Adeshola Olufunke is to be stand down from the league. The second goal is allowed by the assistant referee signal for an offside is considered as justified as the committee observed a possible offside situation in the run towards the goal by the attacking players. The assistant referees are, however, warned and advised to improve in their performances. Oshun vs Delta Queens, Ogumboye Joy from Ondo, a referee, Olusi Kikelomo Ondo, assistant referee, and Ajiro Tutu Esther, another assistant referee too from Ondo. The committee noted that the incidences and errors of judgment of the match officials were not serious enough to warrant punitive measures. Decision, the three match officials are warned and advised to improve in their performances. Adamawa Queens and versus Nasarawa Amazon, Paul Beatrice from Taraba, a referee, Elizabeth Yunusa Gombe, assistant referee 1, Uriba Biwuli Root from Plateau, assistant referee 2. The committee observed that the incidents and errors of judgment of the match officials were not serious enough to warrant punitive measures. The three match officials are warned and advised to improve in their performances. So from the way it is right now, only Adetutu will bear this particular stand down.
It's just really intriguing. And I think, as I said earlier, the committee has been lenient to encourage them to improve. And we hope they are going to improve because if we keep churning out this kind of officiating in matches, it's going to, one, impede on the image of the league. Two, sponsors who are observing and watching the league will be scared away. Three, the integrity of the league is put to question. And again, the referees on their part should not rush to give a judgment or give a decision where you are not certain. You can see in EPL in other established leagues where, despite even the presence of VAR, referees come together to converse whether it should be or it should not be, whether it was right or it was wrong, what actually was the situation on ground. The referee may not see everything in the field of play. That's why there are two assistants by the two sides of the field of play. So, in a moment of doubt, particularly in a league where you do not have VAR, consult your two assistants and be able to ensure that you make the right decision. Do not bother about being in haste to take a decision. At the end of the day, you mar the game. And again, this is one of the reasons we need to have our matches, whether in NPFL, NWFL, on the television. If we can watch these matches, we as sports journalists, we as an analyst or sports commentators should be able to also share our own view on the officiating of the matches. But we don't see it. The referee committees also relied on reports and the video clips they saw, which of course good and fine. But when we see this on television, we can also make our own informed judgment that this is what is and this is what not it is. And but by then, we can also help the committee in making the decision because most times they too may not be right.
Well, we've been talking concerning the NPF and also the NWFL. Well, still on that particular scene now, this time around, IMC sanctions El Kanemi Warriors, reject fixture adjustment request from Eyimba and others. Well, right now, as you remember, that was last week, we talked about El Kanemi Warriors Stadium. They've been warned that that particular stadium will no longer be approved because they've been told to make sure they get it fenced and puts all the measures in place for them to have a good security around the pitch. The IMC led by Gbenga Elegbele are really trying to see how they can sanitize the league, and also the issue of adjustment of the fixtures that was actually becoming rampant. They're actually standing their ground that they will no longer honor all the fixtures are being scattered. If you notice, it's being a kind of this one will play today, this one will play tomorrow, and everything is not even correlating at all. So they are standing their ground by not granting that for the likes of Eyimba and others.
That decision is the best for the league. We have a time frame to begin and end the league by May. And if you continue to make these adjustments, time shall come that this league will extend till June. Till June. So if the organizers are not firm in their decision, it's going to affect the league calendar. And also, but one thing also you have to consider is there was a match, let me just say this before, the match between Lobby Stars and Rangers International played in Jos, I think match day 3. Rangers travel from Enugu to Jos. Lobby Stars travel from Rivers State because they play Rivers United from Rivers State to Jos after their Sunday matches. Along the line, arriving Jos, Lobby Stars said they do not have enough time to rest, so they should shift the match by 1 day. Rangers said, how? You were in Enugu on Monday morning. We left Enugu on Monday morning ahead of you. So both of us arrived just the same day. The match is on Wednesday. We have Tuesday to rest, and then you are shifting the match on Wednesday to Thursday. So at the end of the day, Lobby had their way, and that match was shifted. Rangers lost that match by a long goal. So most times, this request for a change, adjustment in fixtures, adjust the ulterior motives and inimical that will favor the home team against the visitors. So be that as it may, IMC should stand their ground. But one other thing you should also consider is the fact that we are into political campaigns. And some of these stadiums are going to be used for political rallies by various political parties. And some of these rallies fall within the day of these matches. So the alternative IMC gave, for instance, Abia Warriors was, you can use Enyimba Stadium to play your match, but you must play that match on that day. It has been fixed.
Well, talking about MPFL there now, we still look at one more story from the MPFL. We really need to continue to promote our own, at least, well, from the way it is, they've actually talked to the clubs like Shooting Stars to renovate, refurbish, whatever language they want to use, but at least get that pitch done. Renovate your pitch or adopt another stadium. IMC won Shooting Stars and Abia Warriors for the fact that the matches that have been played there, it was not a good pitch at all, or pitches, so they want to make sure they tell them to move to another place, adopt another place. If you cannot fix those pitches, they would not allow it to be used to play matches. Abia Warriors and Shooting Stars.
Lakers Stadium is a newly built stadium, and I'm just wondering why this renovation issue is coming up. Is it that the
pitch
work
itself
was
not
pitch
done properly?
Is it that the pitch, the grassing, whatever was not properly done, or they give us a substandard grass to be used in that stadium?
I think that's what happened.
A stadium, if you're using artificial grass, lifespan I think is 9 years or 10 years or thereabout. Is it up to 10 years Lakers Stadium was built and
I remember after the renovation, by the time there was a match that was played there last season, and the pitch was as if it was not even the same pitch or stadium that was fixed. So people were asking questions. The contractor, the company that actually did this, should be called to come and answer some questions.
You will not ask the contractor to come and answer questions because there was a contract and he or she delivered on agreement. Now it is left for you as the owner of the edifice or stadium to also have experts that, before the man tells you that he is done and dusted, you will invite your own expert to assess the stadium, to assess the facilities used, to assess the materials used, so that by the time you are coming up with your own report and then the contractor is coming up with your own report, you will compare. Where there is discontent or disagreement, you hold a contractor responsible. But a situation whereby the contractor has finished his or her job, delivered to you, and you marked it that you are good to go, and then a few days you are calling him back to say, the materials you gave us were substandard. Who does that?
But you should remember, this is Nigeria. We don't even know if the contractor is giving enough money. That's number one. Number one, yes. What if the contract is this is 1 naira, and the contractor is giving 20 kobo. Where the 80 kobo, where has he gone to? Rat or snake has actually swallowed that one. And you expect
that's exactly the problem, because in almost 99.9% of government contracts, there must be kickbacks.
There must be rabbit and rat or snake that will swallow. Oh my goodness.
So there must be kickbacks before you are able to give this contract. And then a contract may be on the due process and evaluation or quantity survey or whatever, maybe 80 million to renovate a stadium like a Lakers Stadium. And then by the time you add up, the people in charge will tell you our share is 20%. Our share is 10%. And you as a contractor, you are looking at give and take to deliver this job is 80 million. So for you to give these people all they needed, what you are going to do is, okay, since this is this, 20% of your money, if it is 80 million, is 20 million. For this reason, extra 20 million to the project cost. So it is going to be 100 million naira.
That's padding, you know.
Whatever it is.
Oh,
But that is the
goodness.
situation. But the issue is the kickback, the party, whatever. But let there be a standard job that is done. You cannot renovate a pitch yesterday and the 2 years time you are talking about another renovation. Where the hell is the money coming from? You are surcharging the citizens.
So something is not actually right there. Well, we're giving you update concerning the NPFL, where renovation or refurbishment, anything that has to do with the NPFL, and also all the sanctions that have been given to clubs, referees, and all that concerning the Nigerian professional football league and also the Nigerian women football league, just to let you have a feel of what's happening in our league. And before we wrap it up, quickly let's run through some stories where Gabon striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is on the verge of leaving Chelsea for Los Angeles FC. Chelsea actually rolled out their team for Champions League, and his name is not actually there. But right now, the man from Gabon is looking at moving to the MLS, and if everything goes well, you could see him playing over there in Los Angeles. Manchester United will move for Barcelona, Frenkie de Jong and Ansu Fati as La Liga demand wage bill reduction. From the way it is, Man United are still trailing their man. They've been pursuing for a while, and who knows, maybe they will pick him. And the last one says Ronaldinho's son. Ronaldinho's son, João Mendes, is set to join Barcelona after passing his medical. Well, from the way it is right now, the young man, 17-year-old.
Like father, like son. And I think it will be interesting to see him don the Barcelona shirt. And of course, his father played for them. Maybe they're trying to build Barcelona blood in the family.
Well, this way, let's see what Mendes will be adding to his father's resume for the fact that he was in Barcelona and he did extremely well. All the son we're offering there, 17-year-old striker João Mendes there for Barcelona. Well, that will be it on 360 Sports. We've given you all the stories concerning the NPFL. Ahmed Chiagbo, we just want to appreciate your time for being with us.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
I am Adeniyi Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.